And both head are back, nice and clean. Your ears are done, your skin's done. It's trash. Alright, Mommy, please, enough with the humping, please. I know we're clean, I know we smell good, but stop with the humping, please. I'm just trying to get yourself together. Please. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Who's Bella? Put a sticker up here that I'm doing my morning reading. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. Don't forget your daily heart me's and tap the screen, please. Me and Brooklyn just got out of the tub. I got her ears done. I got her skin done. I got her body done. I got everything done. So all I have to do is get dressed and check out. And I'll do that about 10:30, quarter to 11. But I do have a late checkout. I could check out by 12:30, so I do have a late checkout. Oh, okay. Let me go in and unmute her then. Oh, shit. Did I block her? She's not mute. Is Bella still in here? Because I can't find her now. I guess because I muted her for the live. I don't know. Okay. All right. Thank you. I thought I muted you. I'm sorry. So anyway, guys, me and Brooklyn's already been out, had our bath. I got everything ready to pack up to take to the car. I do have a late checkout at 12:30. Oh my gosh. Can you still see me though? Okay, well, it's only muted. It'll go unmuted, so you'll be alright. So, anyway, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, me and Brooklyn's already took our bath. Um, Stop. No, rub your ear. No. I just did her ears, did her skin. I got her all done. I fed her, gave her water, took her potty. So, like I said, everything's packed up sitting over there. All I gotta do is get dressed and put stuff in the car. I do have a late checkout, so um, I'm just gonna sit here. Um, I'm just gonna sit here and do my reading and try to get myself together. That's where it's gonna go. If anybody comes in with negative comments, if a mod's in here, just block them. I don't want to hear nothing about them. I don't want no messages sent to me. Nothing. I don't care what they do. Just if they come in the room, just mute them or block them and move on. Because I don't care to talk about them today. I really don't. I got other things I need to take care of. And when I leave here today, I am going to make a phone call and I'm going to try to check myself in. Even if I have to put Brooklyn in foster care. But I think I'm going to check myself in for a 72-hour check-in. So, yeah. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Mods, can you watch the comments and block them, please. Hey, Nate. I'm doing my morning reading, guys. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. Do I have any mods in here? Thank you. Thank you. Watch the door, please.
Hi, how are you? Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Where are you from? Oh, Philippines. Nigeria.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a minute. I read part of my reading. I'm gonna take a minute and talk to y'all, and then but yeah, I think I'm gonna check myself in today because I was super depressed last night. I was scared. I had crazy thoughts running through my head, um, and I don't want to feel like that. So I need to see if it can give me a stronger medicine, um, because this whole thing, I'm trying not to let it get to me, but it is getting to me. I guess it's getting to my mind. Um, I've always been a strong person. I've always been able to handle a lot of stuff, but these trolls on the internet have really stressed me out, and I'm not gonna lie, they have. Um, I block them and I keep moving forward and I keep pushing myself. Um, so I'm gonna see if I can get some stronger medication, and I'm gonna see if I can find somebody to a foster system to see if they can hold Brooklyn for 72 hours. Um, but I need to get a stronger medication. I think I need to be evaluated again, because my medication isn't working. It's not strong. Um, Trying my strongest to stay strong this morning because uh, I don't want to do another raw meltdown. So they can mock it, and make fun of it. So I'm trying to hold myself together. Um, but it's definitely taking a toll on me, um, stressfully. Um, I never said I was perfect. I never said that. I never said I was perfect. I have a past, just like everybody else. Go back to reading, Kathy. Go back to reading. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to focus. I have to focus because I don't want to cry this morning. I've been crying all night. I just, last night I cried myself to sleep. I didn't get much sleep at all. I came to this app for support. And then people offered to help me and I accepted it. And ever since then, I've been drugged to the ground, run through the mud, and stepped on, made fun of, mocked, crucified, and treated like I'm a nobody. I do have a handful of supporters who care about me in Brooklyn. They get on here every day. They pray for us. They give us gifts. And this week I had enough money that I paid for days out of my money I made on TikTok. All I'm trying to do is survive because I've hit a hard spot. Everybody thinks I'm lying about my car, and I'm not. I've made videos where the car has been fixed. They claim it's fixed. I was even live at another shop where I showed I paid to try to fix it. And all they do is gaslight, manipulate, and twist my story. For some reason, they think I'm hiding money or stashing money or, I'm lying about shit. I'm not. If I could get my car fixed, I'd be okay. If my car was fixed, I'd be okay. Because I can go back to DoorDash and Instacart and do what I need to do to take care of me in Brooklyn. But unfortunately, I don't have the money to do so. So me and Brooklyn's just been getting rooms when people help us to get out of the heat because it is hot. And it's miserable being in a car and living in a car. It takes a toll on people's lives. It's not easy. It's not easy because you don't have the comfort of air conditioning, a bed, and a bathtub. Yes, I got a bathtub in there where I can wash her up and me, but I don't have air conditioning to keep it cool. People are saying I don't take care of Brooklyn. People are bashing me about that. They're talking about it's been years of neglect. They don't understand Brooklyn's condition. I mean, if Brooklyn was really neglected, there's been, out of 12 years that I've owned Brooklyn, there's only been 3 cases, 2 different states opened. The cases have been open, closed, open, investigated, and closed. If Brooklyn was really neglected and really not taken care of, the animal control would have taken her from me. But she's not been taken. She was surrendered in Caroline County so they could test her. I allowed them to take her for 3 or 4 days to test her, to find out what she was allergic to, if they could figure it out. They couldn't even find out what was wrong with her other than an earthly allergy. So they gave her back to me with her shampoo. That's what she came back with. Then they reported me again. I took her to the vet without a problem because I had nothing to hide. I took her to the vet. Not because I was forced, not because I was made to. They came. They said they wanted her to see a vet. I said, no problem. And I took her. The doctor looked at her for 2 hours, gave me medicine, and I've been taking care of her ever since. Every day. Her skin is back to normal. We just have to wait for her hair to grow back. I try not to let these trolls get to me because I've always been a strong woman and I've always handled whatever came my way. And normally I ignore negativity, I don't feed into it. But there's just so many people attacking me that it has to the point stressed me to the max. To the max of where my depression is very deep. They're making me feel like a piece of shit. They're making me feel like I have no self-worth. They're making me feel like I'm a nobody. And that's the truth. I try ignoring it, and I just try living day by day. But it's not working. My medicine isn't strong enough. And I just feel like I need something stronger to help me with my depression. I had a little bit of hope, and I still held on to my faith. But they're acting like I came to this app asking for stuff. They're acting like I came to this app begging for people to take care of me in Brooklyn. That was not my intent. That was not my intent. I fell on a hard time. But of course, anybody that gets help from this app gets ridiculed. And I thought I'd be able to handle it, but I can't. And it has me on the verge where my mind is telling me just to leave this world. And that's the truth. Whether people want to believe it or not, that's up to them. But they're not me. They're not my body. They're not my brain. And they don't know what my brain is telling me. But I have nothing left in this world. The only thing that I have is Brooklyn. And I've tried to hold on. And I've tried to fight it daily. And I pray to God. And I ask God to just get me through the day. Just to get me through today. And I try to be strong and I try to hold on. Because all I have is Brooklyn. It's only Brooklyn and I. I've lost my dogs.
I've lost my husband. I've lost my children. I lost people that I thought were there for me. And everybody's saying it's my fault. No, it's not my fault. People change. Me and my oldest son has never had a relationship. My daughter, she chose someone else. She chose another woman that wasn't even her blood. My son, the same way. The only child that's ever stuck by my side has been Duke. And that's why my oldest two were so jealous and envious of him. My husband told me this would happen. My husband told me that I was going to break. My husband told me that my children would leave me. My husband knew everything that was going to happen, and he told me. And that's why he had to talk with me to try to prepare me. But I wasn't prepared. Even though he told me, I didn't listen because I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe everything that he said. But I've come to realize that he was telling the truth. And I should have prepared myself a lot better than what I did. I should have. But I didn't. So now, like my husband said, I've got to crawl out from underneath the rock. Because the rock's on top of me right now. The rock is sitting on top of me, like he said. My car's really not runnable. People think I'm lying about it, but I'm not. The timing chain needs to be repaired. It's still got a misfire. And I gotta figure out how to crawl on. I have to figure out how to crawl out from under this rock. And I'm just gonna go back to surviving the best way that I can. And just not ask for help anymore. I'm not going to ask anybody to get us a room. I'm not going to ask for anything. When I first came to this app, I did not ask. People offered. But then when people are offering, when we were in a room, how much more do you need for another week? I accepted it. And I was saying, yes, we need another 360 or 260 or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not. I'm just going to go live every day and do my normal thing, talk to y'all, do my readings, share my life as I usually do. And, hopefully with my gifts, somebody's outside waiting. Hopefully, with going live all week and just talking to everybody and, going live here and there, I can make enough money to get a room once a week, so at least we can take a bath and cool off once a week. Um, but I definitely need stronger medication because my medication isn't helping me. This app has literally destroyed my hope that I had left. It has literally destroyed myself of trying to survive. I go live because I like talking to people. I don't go live to scam people. I've always went live to talk to people. I like communicating with people. I used to do it old school, before the internet. I call friends and talk to friends all day on the telephone. But the only way to communicate with people now is social media, because nobody believes in old school communication. Nobody believes in telephone calls or gatherings or meetings or nothing like that. Everything is about social media. Everybody stays in their phones. So I go live and I stay talking to people because, I've always felt good talking to other people because I've been told my stories help people. I've had a lot of people talk to me. A lot of people ask me advice. I always enjoyed sharing what I did on a daily living. And that's all I ever did. None of my other apps were nothing like this. This app literally destroys people's lives. And I made a mistake. I made a huge, huge, huge mistake on my part. And that was coming to this app asking for support. I should have never done it. I should have just used the app like I was using it and just left it alone. But because I asked for mental support, emotional support, it backfired and it has shredded me. It has shredded me apart. It's taken away my self-worth. It's made me feel like a piece of shit. And it has me thinking things that I haven't thought for a long time. And that's the truth. And I wish I had never came to this app and broke down. I wish I had never came to this app and broke down. But it's done and I can't take it back. So now I have to see a specialist to get stronger medication to help me get through it. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm trying to read comments, guys. Hold on. Alright, I saw that. Catch it. Is donor support. No, ma'am. I'm on the phone daily. Everybody's quick to say, you get a check. Take your check and fix your car. My little check is not going to fix that car. It needs a timing chain. My car takes 2 timing chains. It's a 2-3 day job, depending what shop is going to do it. Normally it's like a day and a half, 2 days, because it's such a big job. You're talking anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000, depending which shop again. Just because I'm homeless in my car does not mean that I don't still have bills. I still got a car payment. I still got car insurance. I still got storage. I still got my cell phone bill. I still got to buy her dog food and stuff for the month. I still have bills. Bills still came with me. And that's what people don't understand. Be happy if my car was working. Yes, I'd be door dashing. I door dashed up until March until my car broke down. Did y'all hear that? Somebody outside my window. It's scary because I have been doxxed. My hotel addresses have been put out. My phone number has been put out. And it's scary. Hold on, y'all. You see the shadow. That's why I turned the ringer off on my phone. That's why I turned the ringer off on my phone.
don't think it has anything to do with me. I think it's another room and another couple. I'm not sure. That's why I turned everything off so I could hear better. And it's none of my business. So I'm not getting up to go to the door to look. And I'm not going to put my nose where it doesn't belong. I'm just going to mind my business and check out at my checkout time. And I'll just be careful when I put my stuff in my car. I'll watch my back and my surroundings, that's all. It is a hotel. And things do happen at hotels. And it's been going on for about 25 minutes now. But I haven't heard anything for about 5 minutes, so maybe they left. I don't know. And I'm sure one of the other rooms have already called to report it. Doing my reading, baby. I think it was another room. I think it was another room that having an argument. Could have even been a husband looking for his wife with another guy. You never know. You never know. You never know in today's time. But it was scary. So like I said, I have a late checkout. And I'm going to do my reading. And then I'm going to get off of here. And I'm going to sit here and relax. And then I'm going to load my car. And like I said, I'm going to make a few phone calls before I leave here. To see if I can do a 48, 72 hour check-in. Or to see if I can see a psychiatrist to get stronger medicine. Still hear slamming in the doors. I'm reading my Bible, sweetheart. It's the only thing that gives me peace. I'm reading my Bible. I'm not doing a reading for no one but myself. I mean, I read my Bible on a daily. Good morning, Danielle. I tried talking to people, but sometimes you have to separate your energy. And that's what I do. When negativity comes in my life, I just pick up my Bible and I start reading, but I read it every day anyway. But when there's a lot of negativity in my life, I tend to read it more. Thank you. Our community cheered up. Thank you. Now it's come to pass at the 7 days, 17th of the Lord came to me and said, I hear a lot of slamming of the doors. I think it's another room because I keep hearing car doors slam. Yet if you want the wicked and he does not turn from the wicked nor turn from his wicked way, he shall die in iniquity, but in help to the soul. Again, righteous man to return. I think it's next door because a car is leaving. That's right, this is the one he shall die, but he shall die. Okay. You know, but that's what they want. They want me to leave the app. You know, they want me to leave the app. You know, and they really want to see me. They really want to see me off myself. That's what they want to see. You know, they want to see me off myself and off this app. That's one less beggar and scammer they have. And that's the truth. These people don't have an ounce of compassion in their body. They don't. They just keep bullying and 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 bullying until people take their life. It's what they do. It's what they love to do. You know? They proclaim it to be awareness, but awareness isn't bullying the way they do. Awareness is making people aware of a situation. You know, I could see that they want people to donate to me. If that's their choice, I get it. You know, if they don't want people to donate to me because they think I'm a scammer, okay. Just say, okay, she's a scammer, don't donate to her, and move on. You know, put the information out there so people don't donate to me. But why shred me? Why tear me apart? Why make me feel like I'm nobody? Why make me feel like I'm a piece of shit? Why make me feel like I don't want to be here anymore? Why dox my address where I'm at? Why dox my phone number? You know, why do all that? Our world is crazy. There's a lot of crazy people in it. You know, you may not do it, but you're sharing information for someone else to do it. You know, and it's sad. It's sad that they push people to the point that my brain is where it's at. You know, I have nothing else left in this world. Nothing. I lost my husband. I lost my dogs. I lost my home. I lost everything. All I have is me, Brooklyn, in my car. You know? All I have is me, Brooklyn, in my car. And my stuff in storage. That's it. You know? And they're pushing me to make all these thoughts come back in my head. They're making me feel like my family. They're making me feel like my family made me feel.
like I'm nobody. I'm a piece of shit. She don't believe in God. She's only crying for attention. La, 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 la. Nobody's in my shoes. Nobody is in my shoes. No, nobody can say how I'm feeling. Nobody can say what's going on in my mind. Nobody can read my mind. Nobody can say what's in my mind but me. But it's all a big game to them. They have not an ounce compassion in their body. I know they do it to a lot of people, but I'm saying, they take it to extremes. They take it to extremes. They have no compassion at all for anyone. They don't understand people's situations. I could see if I was like Lisa Richards or, people that was on this app asking for money for every day. But I don't come to this app every day asking for money. I do not come on this app asking for money every day. I don't. But there are people that are. So I get why they want awareness. But I'm not one of the ones who come on this app and ask for money on a daily. But they make it seem like I do. And they're doing nothing but tearing me apart, making fun of me, mocking me, making all these AI things. They got me on American Idol. They got me on America's Got Talent. They just keep it up and keep it up and keep it up. And now that my brain is suicidal, now it's a big act. No, it's not an act. I'm being real. Mental health is real. Depression is real. And my mind is suicidal right now. And I'm battling it. I'm battling it. But again, I'm lying about that too. And what if I was to take my life? What would you say, user? 532-774-10-326. What if I was to take my life right now? What if I get up and go get that knife over there and slit my wrist and take every pill that I've got? And I do it on this live. And I die on this live. You're part of the world's problem. I've always been a firm believer. I've always been a firm believer since the last time that I literally did do it, which was probably I'm gonna say Duke was probably about a year old. Duke was about a year old, I guess, the last time that I actually did it and was committed to an institution. When I came home that day, something told me to pick up my Bible because I was raised with God. And I started reading my Bible that day again. I always read my Bible before, but I read my Bible that day and God just kept putting in my heart it was a sin of what I did. And doing that is not going to allow me to go to heaven. So I know suicide is a sin. I know the unalive and life gone is a sin. So when I'm battling depression, or I feel depressed, or I feel I'm going into it, I pick up my Bible and I read it. And I read it, and I read it, and I read it, and I read it. Because God is the only one that can help me fight my demons. God is the only one that can help me fight my demons. Nobody else can. And I have a lot of demons. I have a lot of demons. I have a lot of trauma. I have a lot of body scars. I have a lot of deep wounds. And I live with them daily. And I try not to allow them to affect me, but they do. When I was with Michael, Michael was my backbone. Mike knew how to get me out of depression. Mike knew how to get me to focus on life. And Mike always assured me and sat me down and talked to me and told me, regardless what I have done in life, I'm a human being. Regardless what I have done in life, I am someone. Regardless what I have done in life, I am special to someone. Regardless what I have done in life, I am loved. Regardless what I have done in life, I still deserve to be respected and treated kindly. My husband knew how to get me out of depression. I fell in depression a couple times with him. And it was pretty bad. But he brought me out of it. Because my husband always said the right things. My husband always told me what I meant to him. What life would be without me. And he made me feel that I was wanted. That I was loved, I was needed, I was respected. And when I get like this and read the Bible, I just ask God to get me through it. Because it's a sin. And I don't want to think like that. You know, depression it's real. You know, and a lot of people don't understand it. And a lot of people say, oh, it's an act, it's a game, and until someone does it. You know, and for the people who say do it, just go ahead and do it. They don't have an ounce of empathy in their body. And they're a part of the world's problem. If you're not in that person's shoes and you do not know what that person is thinking, what they're going through emotionally, physically, mentally, you can't say it's an act. Because I have a past of it. I've been committed for it. It's just been a long time. Because I balanced life and I lived life happy. I lived life to the fullest. But I lost all the things that made me happy. I lost all the things that made me balance. I lost all the things that had me focused on a daily. And I have nothing left. I have nothing left to be happy about. I have nothing to keep me balanced. I have nothing to keep me focused. And that's where my depression comes in again. And I never thought that I'd be back in this situation. You know, I lived a balanced life for so long. I never thought that I would be in this situation again. I've always been a strong woman. I've always been a fighter. I've always learned how to balance things. But my support's not there anymore. God has always been my go-to, but my husband was my biggest supporter. And my support's not here anymore. Yes, I talk to God, I read my Bible, and God does help me. But it's not here physically. It's not a physical thing like your husband. It's not a physical thing where somebody can hug you and say it's going to be okay. And I've been battling this feeling for weeks. I battle it every day. I keep telling myself it's a sin to think like that. That's the devil. The devil's being busy with my car. The devil's being busy with my life. And I'm trying every day just to get through the day. But people who don't have it, who don't understand it, will never understand. They make fun of people with mental illnesses. And they push people until they snap. That's why there's so many people who walk in businesses and off people. There's so many people who have been on bridges and done the things they've done because they can't handle it. When the pressure gets so deep and so overwhelming, that's when people just say, the hell with it, and they do it. But I'm not trying to do it. I'm here saying I'm on that verge. I'm on that verge, and nobody believes me. I'm a liar. But let them think what they want to think. They're not me, and they're not in my shoes, and they're not in my position. I do, Wendy. You know, there are a handful of supporters on here that care about me in Brooklyn, and I know that. She said, talking like this is going to hurt you. You're feeling their fire. Michelle, I've always been 100 about my life. I will always be 100 about my life. And anybody that knows me, that has followed me and knows me personally, can say this. If I am talking real. And I keep it real. I don't sugarcoat nothing about me. And I'm definitely not going to sugarcoat my mental illness. And if they want to take it to extremes, let them. But if they don't have a mental illness, and they're not a psychiatrist, and they're not a doctor, they're not going to understand how I feel, what's going through my head, what my brain is telling me. Manic depression is one of the worst depressions you can get. Because when we're fine and we're level, we're high, and we run, and we talk fast, and we do things. But when we're crashing,
we get depressed. We don't want to do nothing. We don't want to get up. We want everything in hand's reach. I've dealt with this for years. But for 25 years of my life, I was with Michael. Michael kept me stable. I've seen counselors, I saw psychiatrists. Michael knew that. But Michael also helped me through my dark days. I had support. I had someone hug me and tell me I was going to be okay. I had someone tell me that I was needed and I wasn't just loved, they were in love with me. They kept me grounded, they kept me stable. He did. And he's not here. And people could take it how they want it. They could take it and screw it any way they want it. But I have never lied about my life. And I'm not going to start now. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying that my mind is telling me to do things that I shouldn't do. Because I'm that fucking depressed. But I believe in my God. And I know it would be a sin. So I know to pick up my Bible and read it. And accept the words that God is telling me. Because I don't have anyone here physically. I have to use my higher power to fight my demons. So the only thing I can do is read it. I talk to 3 counselors. I talk to 3 counselors a week. Talk to housing. I talk to a counselor and I talk to a psychiatrist. And they don't help me. It doesn't help. All they want to do is pump medication in you. All they want to do is pump medication in you. They want to pump you with medication to keep you zombied out. I never believed in that. I don't want to be a zombie. I don't want to be one of these people on all these medications that these doctors give you to keep you zombied out. It's bad enough that I'm already taking a huge host of medication. I've always been the person to try to deal with it on a natural level. Try to find a solution instead of a medication. They've had me on Zoloft. They've had me on all this crazy ass medication that makes me hear voices and all kind of shit. I don't like that feeling. So we finally found a medication that I'm on,
And it was helping me for a long time because it kept me stable. But because of my situation and my circumstances of my car being broke down, not being able to DoorDash, not being able to get out and do daily life tasks, it's depressing. It's depressing just sitting and not doing nothing. I've never been the type of person to just sit. I've always been a go-getter. And with my car needing timing chains and it's still fucked up, misfiring, the guy said it on the video. The guy never changed all my coil packs and my spark plugs like he was paid to do. So my car never had a tune-up done like it was supposed to have been done when he got paid the $822. The mechanic that just put that one ignition coil on my car just said that. The dude never changed my coil packs or my spark plugs. The second mechanic won't work on it because it's a Ford. Some mechanics don't like Fords. The third mechanic I paid to put my valve cover and valve cover gasket and shit on, and to do the few little fixes that needed done. And then I just paid this last mechanic $300 to come to me to do one spark plug. And he said that none of my spark plugs are new and none of my coil packs are new. They all need replaced. So again, I was fucked from that mechanic back in March that I paid $822 for. He never changed my oil. He was paid to do a tune-up, an oil change, and to change my valve cover and my gasket. He never did it. And was paid. He said he did the tune-up, and he got paid, and he never finished the work. But the tune-up was never done. And that's why I kept calling him and kept calling him and kept calling him and kept calling him. He said he did the tune-up. He exhausted his time. Get another mechanic. That's what he told me. I have it all. I have all the receipts, all the text. The whole conversation where I'm arguing with him. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. You were paid to do a tune-up. Well, I changed the spark plugs and the coils. No, he didn't, because this last mechanic said he never changed them. They're used ones. They're not new ones. So my car has not been right since March. I'm literally scared to drive it. I drive it from here to there. I only drive it when I have to. Other than that, I sit still. I don't move the car. Because if that timing chain breaks, it's gonna, the car's done. The car's done. The car's done. It might as well just go to the junkyard. That car I've had replaced so much stuff on that car. And the only thing left is the timing chains. And go figure it happened now. It couldn't wait for me to DoorDash and make some freaking money. Nah. I've tried getting more loans on it. I've tried getting a loan so I can get it fixed. I've tried every loan that I could possibly try with the little bit of credit that I've restored. But I've got credit that I'm paying now, so they won't give me a line of credit to get it repaired. They won't. So I can't do anything unless my car is fixed. And it's my home. It's where I live. Somebody said, who are the demons? The demons are in my head. People who have depression have demons. We have all kind of demons. Grumpy baseball cat, we're taking care of it. Huh? Taking care of what? To what? 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 That didn't make any sense. Grumpy baseball cat, we're taking care of it. Huh? What? Did I miss something? What's the time? I gotta watch my time. And like I said, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. People who are not a doctor, who are not a psychologist or a therapist, or know about depression, they don't know what I'm dealing with. Even a doctor or a therapist can't tell me what I'm dealing with. All they know is by experiment and studies. But they can't physically tell you what is going on in your head. And I have a million demons up there. I have trauma. I have guilt. I have grief. I have all these demons in my head. Demons are the things you dealt with growing up. You know, abuse, SA, physical, mental anguish, treatment, feelings of not being wanted, having to shut alone, shut down, not being able to talk to people. All those things, they're demons. And people with depression fight those demons. It's been 40 some years for me since I've had to deal with them. Because, like I said, I was stable. I was good. But now I'm unstable again. Because I've lost everything that's made me happy. I've lost what has made me happy. I've lost what's kept me balanced. And I've lost my support system. And when you lose all those things on top of everything else, you get a whole lot of feelings going through your head, through your body. The self-worthness, the unworthiness, the piece of shit, a whore, a tramp, all those things that I had to deal with my entire life are running around in this head of mine. But that's what depression does. Depression has you repeating everything that you've been through in life. Every trauma, every hurt, every scar, everything that you've dealt with in your life comes back and hits you all at once. And that's when we crash. And then when we're pushed and we're bullied and we're trampled on and we're treated like I'm being treated, it makes us not want to be here. It makes us think crazy things because we're not felt that we're loved, we're not felt that we're needed, we're not felt that we're worth something, we're not felt that we're a person, we don't feel any type of humanity, we lose our faith, we lose everything. And people don't understand that. And no, I'm not making fun of mental health because I'm a mental health person myself. I've fought with this for years. Then I got my life stable. And now that I have nothing, I lost it all, I fell again. And that's what happens to people with mental health. And like I said, I know it's a sin. And that's why I pick up my Bible and read my Bible when I feel like this. Because the only person that can talk to me that makes sense is my God. Because nothing else makes sense to me. A psychiatrist doesn't make sense to me. A counselor doesn't make sense to me. A doctor doesn't make sense to me. Because all they want to do is feed you medication to zombie you or tranquilize you. I've spiraled out of control with doctors, with psychiatrists. I've spiraled out of control many times, and that's why they kept me, and they kept me, and they kept me. Because when they go to do a meeting with you before they release you, they want to make sure that you're stable enough to enter into the world. And I zapped out on all the doctors because I have a lot of anger. I have a lot of resentment. I have a lot of hurt, a lot of guilt. And I take it out on the doctor when they're questioning me, asking me questions. And I get angry about it because I have a lot of anger. And I shut it down for years. I put a wall up. I put a barricade up. I put a barricade up so I didn't have to deal with it. But when I lost Michael, my walls came down. Everything come tumbling down. So I have no protection. I have no support. I have no one to hug me to say it's going to be okay.
It is sassy, and they don't understand it. They don't understand it. If they're not in my shoes and they're not feeling what I'm feeling, they're not going to understand it. If they don't have the illness, they're not going to understand it. The only people that understand what I'm saying are the people that deal with it. The people that deal with depression all the time. They're the only people that's going to understand and relate to what I'm saying. My mind and the voices are telling me to do it, but my heart and my body is saying, no, pick up your Bible and read your Bible. That's a sin. Don't let them talk to you like that. Don't listen. Pick up your Bible, read your Bible. Let God get you through it. And God's the only one that I have that I can trust right now. He's the only one that I can trust right now. I have no one else that I can trust. People are easy to say, well, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this, and you could do that. It's easier said than done. You have to be in my shoes to understand it. Do I like sitting here every day? No, I don't. I'd rather be outdoor dashing, making money. I'd rather be out trying to do something to help myself. But I can't do that with a car that's not drivable. And that is what's really got me fucked up. Because I can't fix it. I can't fix it. I don't have the money to fix my car. And if people would stop condemning me and stop downing me and stop smearing me and just take a chance on someone and say, you know what, let's get her car fixed. Let's see what she'll do. If y'all fix my car and I don't do shit after that, then you could call me a scammer. Then you could call me a beggar and a scammer, all the hell you want to call me. Oh, she scammed us to get her car fixed and she ain't doing nothing. She wants people to support her. She wants people to take care of her. Yeah, then you could say that. Then you could smear a fucking campaign all over this goddamn TikTok and I wouldn't give a fuck. Lord, bring me down. 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 Not my fight, it's your fight. Not my fight, it's your fight. That's what you just said to me. Some fights are not meant for you. Be still. You know, and they're just kicking me while I'm down. They're just kicking me while I'm down. You know, people was on here yesterday saying they've reported me to SSI. They've reported me to this. They reported. to that, trying to get my income taken. Because they want to see people like myself crash. They want to see people like myself end their life. Yes, you're right, I do, Sassy. You're right, I do. I need meditation music. I need... I need to prepare myself getting back in this car today. Yes, ma'am. I agree. I agree, Cassie. I agree. And I'm trying everything in my power to keep my faith in God and, not commit sin. Because unaliving yourself is a sin. And I know that. And that's why I pick up my Bible when I feel like this. Thank you. These people have made Reddit pages and some more. They've not only made pages on TikTok, but they've made Reddit pages, YouTube pages, just tearing me to shreds.
What we're not going to do is we're not going to let the bad things keep disturbing our peace. No matter what situation we are in, we still can choose peace. Every day it's a struggle to do so, but you can do it and I can do it. Don't look down your nose on yourself. Look up to our Creator who will deliver us every time. Not one time, every time. And just remember, you're not going to give these naysayers any power. None. Because that's what they want. I called them by name and I prayed for them last night. You do your best and God will do the rest. It's hard in life, period. Period. I understand your struggle more than you know. A lot of people do because the world has become a very uncaring and unkind place that it was not meant for. Let me tell you a little bit about my past to your friends in here. And even your trolls that are listening that came knocking on the door. At least 10 accounts I muted while you're talking. At least. They're the ones I caught. Back off in the name of what's good and right. Just back off. I grew up an only child. My father made it very clear. He did not want me. He was never around. When he was around, it was chaos, late nights with my mom. My mom was an angel here on this earth. Anyway, I left home at the age of 17. I graduated. I fell in love with somebody who was my high school sweetheart who became my worst nightmare. But in retrospect, I fell in love with his family. They didn't have shit. They barely had a roof over their head and a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out. But what they had was love. They had unconditional love. Not for me to find out later on that there were many, many generational curses, that love for each other was trauma bonded. So anyway,
Yeah, I've had a few of them myself.
yep. We got married at his insistence. And the control began. 2 months after we were legally married, I went back home, told my mom and dad what was going on, and my mom was like, "Oh, you better come back home." And my father said, "You made your bed, lay in it." I had two black eyes and a broken finger. So then the isolation, my friends, everybody thought I didn't want to be a part of their life when the fact was I couldn't. We're going to fast forward 30 fucking years. 30. In 2015, my mother started physically withering away. She always was depressed from everything that had happened to her in her life. So I picked up my life and moved to another state to be able to take care of my mother. She has no other children. My father put his head in the sand and was still demanding dinner and stuff like that. So my mom withered away to 70-something pounds. All the while, she never told me what she was dying of. I just knew she was dying. They said she had COPD. Well, COPD doesn't make you lose over half your body weight and die. Anyway, I saw things I should have never saw, but I wasn't leaving her. Made me realize that, you know what? My kids are now grown. My youngest was turning 18. My mom died in April. That June, my twins graduated. And I had enough of him. We won't get into all details because I'll be here all day. I'll just say like this. Jerry Springer would not air this shit. Abuse. Think of the wildest, craziest, weirdest, unimaginable crap. And then think about the normal everyday things like you going to the grocery store, you going to Walmart. Imagine all that. Yep. Survived. Yep. So then in 2015, my mom died. All the meanwhile, while I'm taking care of my mother, they had a big, beautiful home. My mom helped design, paid mostly for it. But we couldn't live there. So, okay. So then fast forward to 2017. Have something wonderful happen. My oldest son has a child. A week later, his little brother found him dead on his face from an overdose. My mom's gone. I got out of a 30-year abusive marriage. And my father, who never would give me a kind word, begged me to take care of him. The good Lord says, honor your mother and father.
Yes.
He doesn't put any adjectives in there, whether they were good, whether they were bad, whether they were horrific. I never in all my years, never disrespected my parents. Even my abusive ex-husband, I never fought him back. Until we had been separated, he found me when I wasn't in my area, and he attacked me. And if I wouldn't have fought back, he would have killed me. Definitely. And let me tell you a little something about police. I'm not, in this particular situation, this is why you have all the TV shows of Snapped, and you have this, and you have that. In my particular situation, okay, my face was bloody because he elbowed me in my nose, trying to pull me out of my car. I was in my car. My window was cracked. Not even a quarter of an inch. This is how calculating this monster is. He put his fingers in there and pushed a power window down to get to me. He took my phone. He took my keys. So anyway, I'd had enough, and I guess all those years, we all have a breaking point. I got out of my car, and I just looked him right in his face, and I said, if you're gonna kill me, fucking do it. But I'm not backing down. I knew he had a bad knee. I kicked him in the knee. And let me let you know, the man was 6'2", probably close to 300 pounds. He was not a little guy. I'm not a little girl. I'm short, but I've always been a big girl. I kicked him in the knee, and he went down. And yes, indeed, I jumped on his back like a spider monkey, and I pummeled his face everywhere I could reach until I was out of breath. I ran back and got in my car, and I locked my doors, and I started to pull away, and here comes the police. What do they see? They see him getting up off the ground. He gets up off the ground and still tries to come after me in my car. Still. So anyhow, not to drag it out, they wanted to arrest us both. They called it mutual combat. But the only reason they couldn't was because they didn't see it happen. That's just like in a domestic violence situation. If the cops don't see the perpetrator hurting the victim, we'll go to the commissioner. Get a restraining order. Get an ex parte call. Get a peace order. People, do you know how hard that is? You can go in front of a magistrate, and if there is a little bit of doubt in that judge's eyes, they'll give you that temporary peace order. But guess what? Here's the loophole the abusers use. If it's not served on them in 72 hours, it ain't no good. No good. So yeah. So then my father dies in my father dies a year and a half after my son dies. Even though he passed, it was still a loss. I'm still grieving my mother 10 years later. But The kiss on the lips my father gave me. You figure I'm their only kin. My mother's beautiful home on the water. All she ever wanted was family. That's all she said. And where I live, there's generational homes that have been in families since 1800s. And my mom wanted to start something like that. That would go from me to my children. So, after all this, I then find out my mother's house has to be sold. And I'm trying to figure out, why does her house have to be sold? It's paid for. Kath, it had to be sold. You don't even know this. And the money was given to another woman.
I believe it. Yeah,
That
well,
was his final fuck you.
Yeah, well, as bad as my mom
That
was,
was his final.
I still took care of my mother. I wasn't there to take care of my dad because my mom did. My mom did it, but my dad passed away right after I came home from prison. He passed away in 2011, and 9/11 he actually passed away, and so my mom took care of him. But I did take care of my mom when she lived in Baltimore before she started coming back home. You know, regardless of what she did to me, she was still my mom, and I still starved for her love.
Yep.
You know, and
Stacy, you're more than welcome to leave any time the same way you came in. Thanks, hon.
thank you. You know, the whole I took care of my mom. You know, God said, you know, honor your mother and your father, and I honored her. You know, I took care of her, and I took care of her bed sores. I took care of her. You know, and I cleaned her
I know
house.
you did. I know you did.
You know, Judy even said that. I took very good care of my mother after everything that she did to me. I still honored her and took care of her because it's what I was told to do by God, you know. And
But that also weighs on a person that has been mistreated by that person. It fucking weighs on you so heavy.
Yes. And I still miss my mom. You know, I go through the grieving of missing her. I go through the grieving of missing my dad. I go through the grieving of missing my brother that's gone. Both of my brothers, actually. One by blood, one by not blood. One was murdered, which was Block. You know, but you know, it's just been, you know, it's just been a whirlwind. And you know, I took care of my mom though. You know, God told me to, and I did. I took care of her until she chose to go back home, and you know, she still kicked me in my face. You know, on her deathbed, and but I forgave her for it. You know, I went to the funeral, and you know, I couldn't even sit in the front row. You know, I was told to sit. I was told to sit in the third row because I wasn't good enough to sit in the front row. And my Aunt Donna told my brother and my sister-in-law, she says, "You're not going to do that to your sister. I don't give a goddamn what kind of relationship you have. You're not going to do that. She's your sister. She's your mother's daughter, and she's going to sit in my seat." Because they had a seat for Donna in the front. And Donna said, nope. She grabbed me by my arm, took me around there, and sat me in the seat and told me don't move my ass. And she sat behind me to make sure nobody moved me out of that seat. And of course, at my mom's funeral, you know, there was a letter read that Kelly was her daughter. Kelly will always be her daughter. Her biological daughter was dead and gone. She buried her years ago. And, you know, so she kicked me in my face at her own funeral too. You know what I'm saying? After I took care of her, and it hurt. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
It still hurts. It
still does.
You know, it never goes away. You know, I mean, I put barriers up when I was with Michael. You know, I put walls up so I didn't have to deal with that pain, you know? Mike was like, let it go, let it go, let it go. So Mike helped me, you know, to get over a lot of that.
Yes.
You know? But now that he's gone, all that is resurfacing because I'm under a rock. You know, if this car would be running, I would not be sitting here. You know, I would not be sitting here on this live. I'd be out DoorDash and making money,
Oh,
taking care
you'd
of.
be on the go like you were. And you know, the thing too, people don't realize is there's a difference between sitting because you have to rest. I mean, rest, not physically, rest mentally as well, right? But then knowing that you have to sit, people that have been through trauma, that are hanging on by a thread, you're overthinkers. I'm an overthinker. My brain never shuts. And it makes physical manifestations. People that have been through trauma like you have, it alters your brain chemistry. And everything Kathy said, I will tell you as a mental patient, my darn self, that is the truth. There is no medication to fix it. And yes, it does numb your brain to where you can be a thoughtless person just existing. Or you can be a fighter like Kathy is, and even on the good days, you just survive.
Well, look at the lady that came in the live the other day that said she had been a silent watcher for
Yep.
several years. She's never spoke to me. I never knew she was following me. And she came in and she said that she has seen me go through so much
Yep, I was there.
and survive it all. And I
Yep.
don't deserve where I'm at.
Nobody deserves it. I don't give a flying rat's piney who deserves it. And all these trolls want to talk about being Christian. Well, guess what? I can stand here and I can recite any Bible quote that will address any issue. I can sing any Christian song to lift my spirit. But you know what? I can say fuck because God knows my heart. He knows who I am. He knows I'm trying to be the best I can, but the only thing I am is forgiven. And I try to do better, and I try to be the best I can. We all have a past, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. We're human. We have had somebody hurt us some way, somehow, sometime in our life. But you know what? The fact of the matter is, whether it's one person or 100 people or a stranger, get a little pinch of hope and run with that shit.
I try to hold on every day, girl. I do. I try to hold on every day. And when I get
I know
crazy,
you do, and I've never, ever seen Kathy like this. And anybody that knows her has never seen her like this. But what has happened, she's been in survival mode since everything happened with Michael. Because going through what happened with Michael on the times I saw her, it's not she was in denial, but you always think they have more time. They have more time. And Michael went downhill over fucking night. Overnight. It happened so fast. I have cold chills from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. I had saw Kathy in a live, and I had saw her at the store very briefly. Duke was on one of his tangents. That's how many years ago it was. And as we're speaking, a monarch butterfly just flew up to me, Kathy. That is my mom. So she's coming to give us both strength because I'm talking to you. So you just feel that strength. But people also don't understand. Being depressed isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that your body has had too much and it can't handle anymore. Anybody that wants to say a mean word about Kathy, I would say, you know what? Don't spend a day in her shoes. Spend a minute in her mind. And let's see how strong you are. Let's see. On top of everything she's been through, she's got internet trolls that have nothing better to do than to try and make her life harder. And again, every live I ask them to search their soul. What if that was your sister or your mother or your friend or even your neighbor? There's no sense in it. None whatsoever. And evil gets paid with evil. Karma is a real thing, and my God is certainly a real thing. I behoove them. What does it matter if somebody's trying to help you? You're spending the on exactly what people are donating it to you for, and that's to have a roof over your head. That's right, Danielle. God don't like ugly, and you know what? My face might be ugly, but honey, my heart is beautiful, and that's all that matters to me. And a little icing on my cake, after all this happened, I finally go to therapy because I'm allergic to most medicine. The therapist says to me, Kath, well, I don't know how you're still functioning. Oh, that's what I need to hear. So yeah, no, therapy doesn't always work. You try again, you try a different person, you try a different medicine, but the cold hard fact is, it's mindset. And if you can't get your mind right, you can't get your life right. And I am a testament to that. Every day, I praise the Lord, I wake up and I'm on roll call and I've opened my eyes, and the first thing I do is say a prayer. Lord, thank you for waking me up, and thank you for blessing my children. Thank you for having a roof over my head. All my blessings. The rest of the day might not go so good because panic attacks are a real thing. And again, if you never had one and you never experienced it, you don't know the depths they go to. But my point to all this is, storm after storm after storm as a storm, because God has told us all. We are either going into a storm, in the midst of a storm, or coming out of the storm. And there will always be another storm. God also tells us that we're strong, that we don't have more than we can handle. And by this time, I think Kathy should be able to lift up a concrete truck full of concrete, right? But with that being said, it's like anything. If you put too much weight on it, it breaks. And a lot of times when people break, they're stuck and they can't get up. And what does a kind word or a helping hand hurt anybody? It doesn't, whether you give it or you receive it. Life is hard. Life is hard. People are supposed to be kind and to make it a little easier, but they're not. And Kathy has spiraled. She lost Michael. And again, I can relate to her. After everything that happened, I finally trusted a man. And you know what? We were probably toxic for each other. But for 3 years, the first 3 months of our relationship was the best time of my life. That man taught me what unconditional love was and how a real man treated a real woman, just like Michael did Kath. I only had those 3 really good months, and then we back and forth, because we both had emotional traumas. But I knew that I could pick that phone up and say, babe, I need you. And he'd be there. But unfortunately, he had a massive heart attack and died in front of my face, even though my daughter and I tried to save him for half an hour before help got here. And I have 2 older children, and that's all I have in this world. That's all the family I have. Am I going to burden them with my brain and my thoughts? No. Do they know I'm struggling? Yes. Do I know they care? Yes. But do they understand? Never. So that support is not there.
And the whole thing that gets me is, I should have listened to Mike. I should have taken in everything he was saying on his deathbed, because everything he has said, Sass, has came true.
Yep. Yep.
And it's sad. And but he told me that it was going to swing and I was going to fall. And when I fell, I was going to fall hard.
Yep.
And he's right.
Because you always have overextended yourself helping other people. Always. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts, and I'm not trying to say anything against your children, but what I'm saying is what I've seen your daughter do is a huge reason you're in the situation you're in. And again, that was all because you were trying to help her as much as she was helping you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fran, so thank you for your input. I want to address this. First of all, a lot of people live in the past and they use the past in the future on people. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to be grammar police. It's past with a T. People can change, but some people don't want to see the change or allow the change. That's exactly right. And most of those people are narcissists. Let me give you a little education on a narcissist. People that have had childhood trauma come out of that either being one, someone who accepts what happened, process it, deal with it, and they have a very over-emotional kind soul. The one that doesn't deal with their pain, inflict it on other people, and become a narcissist. And narcissists prey on empaths. And that is exactly what Kathy and I are. We are empaths. Over and above all your trauma, you get a sixth sense where you feel other people's pain. You constantly want to help people. You give the help that you wished you had. So the abuse goes much deeper than people even realize. That's a true statement. You look it up if you think I'm making it up or fibbing. That is the truth. My husband is a narcissist to this day. But I'll tell you this, and I'm not happy about it at all. All the years he did what he did to my kids and I, he is riddled with health issues. Is that from the way he treated other people? Is that karma? Or is it just something that happened? I don't know. Everything that he's ever done, I wouldn't wish his issues on anybody, but his mouth still works and his evil thoughts. So it goes a lot deeper, a lot deeper. I just wish people would understand that. And let's give Kathy some grace, because her and I aren't spring chickens. We are up and on the descending part of our hill. But the man upstairs woke you up today, so there's a purpose. There is a reason. And you hold on to that.
Absolutely.
And anybody that can hear me, see me, whatever, my inbox is always open. I don't care. It's 24/7. If you're having a hard time, you need to vent. You need somebody to pray with you. You need somebody to cuss with you. I'm there.
I've done so much for a lot of people, like because I had empathy in my body for other people, all
Yep.
those people that we took in that lived with me and Mike, and we took care of them, we supported them, we not only supported them, we supported their children, and you know what I mean? It
Yep.
just it just hurts me that, those people now, you know, um those people now are well off. People that we helped back in the day, they're now well off where, they have homes
Uh-huh.
and, they've gotten their lives together and, but not one of them will hit me up and say, hey, are you okay? Or, not to
Right.
tell me anything. It's a common courtesy, you're never supposed to forget where you come from. And I believe that's a ritual with me. I never forget where I come from, you know. So when I was on top and had that money and doing games and feeding the homeless and all the things I was doing, I never thought I was better than anybody else. I still had empathy in my heart and I still gave.
Yes,
I
she did, and I tell you what,
gave more than I
anytime
should.
anybody had a prize, Kathy sent them over and above whatever they won. Always something extra. Always. Even when she door dashed, she made little bags for everybody that she door dashed to. Little goodie bags to have a good day, something to brighten their day.
Yeah, then they even made fun of that.
Yep.
Then they even made fun of that because, when I was door dashing, there was this one old lady that sat on the corner, and I got her a whole week at the Dover Inn, you know. I gave her the money. Well, I went in and I gave her the money, but she paid for it in her name. But I stood there while she paid for the room to make sure that she paid for the room. You understand what I'm
Yep.
saying? So
Yep.
I still did for people when I was still door dashing, and they're like, oh, well, look at the lies on her paper. Look, they don't know what I was doing behind the scenes with my money from DoorDash. I
Right.
was still helping other people,
Yes, you were.
you know? I was still
That
helping
lady
them.
wasn't the only one.
No, it wasn't. I was giving gift cards to other people that stood on the corner for McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts, like, because I don't give cash. I'm not a cash person. I give gift cards or something like that. But for the hotel, I did give cash, But I made sure she paid for a room, and I told the lady that, if don't refund it, make her use it for the room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
like I said, she was out there in a wheelchair. I felt bad for her. She was out there in the heat and shit. And I took my tip money, and paid for a week for that woman. They don't know what I did. You know, they
And
don't
if
know.
anybody knows anything about DoorDash, that was a lot of money for somebody living off of tips.
Any one of these people that stand on the street corners in Dover can tell you, I gave to them. I gave them gift cards. I would buy a Wawa gift card, like when I ran in Wawa, or if I was in Chipotle, I'd buy a Chipotle one. You know what I mean? And I'd hand them out.
Yep. Always giving back.
And then, is what really hurt me with my son is when he said, oh, yeah, she gave us fake gift cards and $100 bills for Christmas. That was a fucking joke.
My
Right.
family does Stokes every year. And if they remember correctly, my granddaughter said, yes, she brought the boxes in and put the boxes down. Then she gave us a gift card with a big $100 bill. What was in the boxes, though? You know, I door dashed to make sure they had a nice Christmas. I got and then my granddaughter's going to say, "Oh, you only got us a pajama set and a keychain and earring." Okay, but that's what you asked for. You got what you wanted, and they wear the hell out of them. Look at all their videos; they got their pajamas on. They were happy when they got it, and now all of a sudden they're not happy because I'm not a good enough grandmother. All the packages I would send because they didn't come, packages I would send to them for Christmas. I'd go buy them all pajama sets and movies and all the popcorn and the candy and the soda, and I'd box it up and send it to them so they could do the Christmas night movie. You know what I mean? I spent $300 to send a box one year.
This is the same kid, the one you're talking about. I saw you because you were streaming in Walmart.
Yep.
Give me this, give me that, give me this. Are you sure? Yeah, give me that. Nanny, I need this. Nanny, I want. Kathy had a whole basket full for that brat.
What about my nieces when they had their kids? I was buying their strollers and their pack and plays and
And the
all that.
baby showers, and the barbecues, and the birthday parties.
Yeah,
Financed by you.
but I didn't pay for none of it.
Right.
And then just like my son said, oh, she bought the baby a snow cone machine and was going to take it. No, I didn't take it. I left it. I left it. When I moved out, I took it with me, yes, but I brought it back for her birthday because it was for her birthday. I'm not going to leave it early. That was her birthday present. I brought it on her birthday. But when I left it. I bought her the snow cone machine, which was $200. Then I even went to Baltimore when I was in Baltimore and went over on Washington Boulevard and bought her a whole case of different flavors with the pumps, which was $100 some dollars.
Yep.
Because that's what she wanted for the baby for her birthday. I made sure she had it. You know? But, like I said, it is what it is. It just hurts me that my son got on there and said all that fucking foul shit.
He did it for the dollar, girl. You know that.
But he did it for his own version, and then to call Walmart, and say I was stealing from Walmart, that was ridiculous. But anyway, to get me put out of, okay, so they said my son's the one that called Walmart, but who called the hotel and got me put out of the hotel? Who kept calling the police saying that I was going to harm me and harm the dog?
They all did. They talk about it all the time. I go in and listen to them. That's how I found out where the one bitch lives. And I put two and two together.
Yeah, you sent me all that. I got it all.
Yep.
But
Working
like I
on
said,
the others.
the whole thing, people don't realize what I go through. They don't know my situation. I guarantee if just 10% of these people that's talking about me got in their cars, lived in their cars for fucking just a weekend, they wouldn't make it. I'm talking a car without no air conditioner, a car that's not running. I'm not talking about a brand new car. I'm talking about get yourself a rundown, beat up goddamn car that's not fucking running and spend a weekend in it with no fucking air conditioner, no nothing. And then you tell me if you survived it. It's not easy. It's not. Your body always needs some type of cooling off. Yes, people work in the heat all day, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours, but they come home and their body rests in air conditioner. It rests. My body is in the heat 24/7 when I'm in that car. And poor Brooklyn.
And when you're not conditioned for it, it makes it all the worse.
Right, absolutely.
So, on another note, are you going to go back to selling those feet pics?
Girl, if I thought I could sell goddamn feet pics, I would. But they would be talking about that. Oh, she got an OnlyFans. She's selling feet
Uh-huh.
pics.
Oh my goodness. Hey, sell your butterball pics, girl.
Whoop, whoop. Girl, I don't even want to talk about that because that's just straight up embarrassing.
No, it's not. Roll with the punches, baby. Roll with the punches.
That
Hey,
was not supposed to happen.
at least they called you a butterball turkey. You're moist and juicy. You're not no generic frozen turkey.
We gotta get dressed soon, mommy. Yeah, I'm gonna make a couple of calls. I don't know. I need stronger medication. I know that. And even if I sign myself in, that's not going to help me because, they're not going to have nobody to talk to me. They're not going to have anybody to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? All they're going to do is evaluate me, give me some fucked up medication to drug me up and make me sleep. And I'm still going to be feeling the same way,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They have no help for mental health people, period.
They don't.
They don't have where you could go in and you can sit with a compassionate person, to help you get through those emotions and understand what you were going through. You understand what I'm saying? It's like they get paid to do a job and they do it and that's it.
Yep.
Just like I was turned down for that bed the other day because I have Brooklyn, they won't take the dog. We have to have a separate room because I have the dog.
Mm.
It's just absolutely crazy. And then the other shelter, I can't get in that because my income is too high. They have no resources for homeless people at all. Everybody says, oh, they got shelters, they got this, they got that, blah, 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 blah. They have no resources anywhere, really. Resources are hard to find for homeless people anymore. There used to be help where, you could get into a shelter, you could get into transitional housing, you could get into something. But our world is so messed up. There's so many homeless people right now. So many, not, including myself. But I'm just grateful that I have a car. I could be in my car instead of on a street corner or a grass in the woods. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no resources for homeless people. I showed you that list in my car. I just didn't show the numbers. That list is huge. I sat and called every number on that list.
Yep.
Oh, you're on the list here. You're on this list. You're on that list. You're on this list. We've had you. We've had you since 2023. Okay, well, there is no resources. There is no more help. The government has taken all that away from us. And our, you know, TikTok here pretty soon is going to be only for USA people. So it's going to cut a lot of these accounts out, the overseas accounts, Canadian accounts. You're only going to be able to correspond with the people in the United States. You're not going to be able to correspond with anybody out of the US. So there's going to be a lot of accounts lost off of TikTok. A lot. The government, even with social services, you know what I mean? People that need help with food stamps can't get it. It's just sad that they pick and choose who they want to help when they want to help.
Mm-hmm.
I know a girl right now in Baltimore. She got 12 kids, and she don't pay for nothing. She gets like $1,000 a month of food stamps. They pay her rent. They pay her electric. They pay for everything for her. You know what I mean?
And that's why people that really need the help don't get it.
There
After
should be
the-
some.
After
There
them
should-
kids are grown, she ain't gonna get that.
To me, there should be some type of assistance or some type of help for people 60 or older. There
Right.
should be. People
Yes.
my age should not be on the street. I put my work time in. I put my credits in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I paid my taxes.
But it's a loophole. Oh,
Yeah.
you get $512 a month. That's too much for us to give you food stamps. Well, $512, what's that going to do? You buy food out of it, you're lucky you have $100 left.
Yeah. They should have more income-based housing. They should. You know what I mean? They should have more, even if the government, they got money out the tank, they should build a warehouse and put rooms in there. You know what I'm saying? There's
Mm-hmm.
plenty of warehouses that are empty, plenty of bandos that are empty. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Open them up for transitional housing. Open them up for homeless people,
But then you get the criminal element in there, and then people get scared, and,
Yeah.
because of the addicts and whatnot. Good morning, Brandon.
It's just crazy. Like I said, for 3 years, I've been putting application after application after application. I just did some more the other day. With the caseworker.
Mm-hmm.
I missed my appointment with my counselor, though. And she's leaving. So the counselor Megan I had, she's leaving. So I'm going to have a whole nother counselor again. So I got to go. That's going to be more traumatizing because now I got to go all back over my history again.
Kathy
Yes,
says, thank you, Brandon.
Thank you. I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm fucking hungry. I didn't eat nothing yesterday except for them damn chips. That
Aww.
little piece
That
of
was
sandwich.
pretty, Miss Leona. She sent you Level Up Spark Cake.
Oh, I missed it. Thank you. I need to get something to eat.
And people wonder why you doze off here or there. Because your brain is fried. I do the same thing.
Well, my medication does that too. Because I take medications through the day. Like I take morning medicine, I take afternoon medicine, I take evening medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So I take medicine 3 times a day. So that's why, like even when I was at Judy's and I was always running, when I'd sit at the table and I eat, I'd nod out right at the table because I was exhausted.
Yeah.
It's my medicine. My medicine makes me do that.
Well, my brain makes me do it for sure.
My medicine makes me do it. Especially when I take the ibuprofens and the cyclopenzapine together and the water pills. I take it and 20 minutes later I'm like, And I was so agitated last night, I got in the bed and I was laying there and I left the damn medicine on the desk. I didn't even get up to, I was so, I did not even want to get out of the bed to get my medicine. So I just went to sleep without it.
Mm.
So now I got to make sure I take it tonight. That's another thing. I got to get to the
Yeah.
drugstore. I got to get to the drugstore to get more medicine.
I'll catch up with you guys later.
You
Chin up,
leaving out?
Buttercup. Chin up, Buttercup.
Okay, baby. Yeah, I'm getting ready
Love
to
you
get off
back.
here because I got to get ready to get dressed.
All right. Love ya. Be blessed.
Love you too. Yeah, I'm only going to be on here a few more minutes and then I'm getting off because I got to get dressed, put this stuff in the car. I'm just sitting here trying to amp myself up to do it. I've got everything packed up already. All right, let me put this pen in here. And I got to hold this tablet up, put it in this thing. All right, that's done. Is there cops out there? No, it's an ambulance. It's an ambulance. Watch out. We gotta get dressed. There's it's already folded up. I just gotta unplug it. Time for everything to charge up. Alright guys, I'm gonna get off of here because I gotta get dressed. I got things I gotta do. I gotta make these couple of calls real quick because I gotta be out of here. I gotta get dressed. I gotta put these couple of things in the car.
I probably won't be live. I'm probably not going to be live. So. Just probably going to give myself like 24 hours off of the internet. And go somewhere, park, find a shady spot. Try to get myself together. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Walgreens. Your Walgreens is waiting for pickup. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, I'm off of here.